Hello! Today we will be summarizing the book Becoming a Growth Mindset School by Hildrew. To begin, we will answer the question, what is a growth mindset school? Some qualities of a growth mindset school is that it is united around a common vision. It requires every member of staff to be engaged in working to develop positive attitudes towards learning. It cultivates a creative culture where risk-taking is celebrated and encouraged. And lastly, it maintains high expectations of students so that they can progress in their learning.
To launch a growth mindset within a school, one must reflect on themselves first, asking 3 important questions. The first one is, how do I appear to others? In this, our attitude towards learning should have humility, saying, learn always rather than look clever always. The second question is, how do I respond to setbacks? You should see setbacks as circumstances that allow you to confront mistakes and learn from them, rather than a time of weakness and failure. The last question is, what do I believe about talent and effort? Which, simply put, means asking if you believe that having talent is an excuse not to try your best. If you're going towards a growth mindset, you must believe only effort leads to success.
At this point, you may be wondering, why should a school have growth mindset? Here, Hildrew points out that if individual success is only measured relative to the success of others, then achievement is beyond the locus of control in the individual. Simply put, Hildrew is talking about competition. On page 28, he highlights the negative impact of competition and that it can affect kids who compare themselves with their peers. He says, you can't control what someone else does, only how well you do. In this way, the growth mindset moves away from the typical grading scale of mainstream schooling and focuses on teaching students the life skill of competing with yourself. Thus, students drive their own learning processes and are able to use failure to help model future success.
One thing to remember is the importance of leading with a growth mindset. Hildrew says that leaders ensure the vision and mission statements that become a lived reality in the day-to-day work of school. This means that if you expect your students to have a growth mindset, you as the teacher should lead with a growth mindset.
The curriculum for growth mindset may vary as each school is unique. A growth mindset curriculum isn't about trying harder or applying more effort. Rather, it requires knowledge of strategies and processes, which are likely to be effective in learning with a particular subject. Without that knowledge, effort is likely to be fruitless and ineffective.
To kickstart growth mindset in a school, it is important to explore the preconceptions and messages which underpin the language in the classroom. This means to evaluate what we do and what we say in our classrooms. From that, ask yourself if this develops a fixed or a growth mindset. In addition to our language, we need to evaluate our actions. Our words, body language, and nonverbals should all match and relate. For example, if a student fails or makes a mistake, we can tell them that it is okay and that mistakes are a part of learning. However, our actions need to reflect that it is okay for them to make mistakes.
Assessment and feedback is very important in a growth mindset. Assessment is the process of evaluating and measuring performance of learners in the task you have set them. Feedback is the process in which a student makes sense of the information given to them about their work and how they can use it to improve. Assessment and feedback are related in that assessment should always be followed by feedback. When critiquing, it should be specific, helpful, and also have accurate assessment. In addition, the person assessing needs to have clear and precise ideas and guidelines of what a good piece of work looks like. Lastly, it is important to take into consideration the emphasis that it is put on the process versus the emphasis put on the final product.
So, how does this mindset impact those who are involved in the child's education? As future educators, we must recognize that we as teachers cannot change everything in a school. We do, however, impact our students and their families. Therefore, teachers in a growth mindset school must encourage students to do 3 things. The first is praise the process. Students must understand that the process of learning is a necessary stepping stone needed to help them towards future success and goals. They should be encouraged to have pride in their school and their education. Next, teachers must encourage students to seek out difficulty, or to make sure to praise the student during their struggle to learn and to find solutions. This should also be encouraged in the parents of the students. Lastly, the teachers should use the power of yet whenever the students begin to doubt their own success.
Some misconceptions and missteps of a growth mindset are here listed. First, one within a growth mindset may fall into the belief that there is no room for improvement. However, no school is perfect. Even a growth mindset school has room for progress and improvement. Second, many may think that you can change someone else's mindset. However, you can only change your own. Others, they have to decide on their own. Thirdly, we need to remember that talent alone is not enough. True success is only obtained when one competes with themselves. Therefore, talent cannot help one to progress beyond their level. Lastly, personality does not determine success. We do not fail or succeed based on our genetic makeup, but on the effort and persistence alone.
Here are a few things to remember about a growth mindset. First, students need to be challenged consistently. Second, struggle should be valued and celebrated. Third, to build good characteristics of a growth mindset school, they need to be woven into the staff, institution, and students. Lastly, as teachers, know your why and apply it consistently.
Remember, the best possible outcomes come from meshing growth mindset with an inclusive culture where each individual is valued and sees value in school. Also, remember as teachers, we are all also still learning how to become better teachers for the improvement of our schools. We may not have a growth mindset yet,